So Worcester Cathedral, just about to have a little look around, so hope you'll join us. Welcome to Worcester Cathedral, very ancient and historic cathedral. There's a memorial to Edward Elgar. Of course, last night we saw where he was buried near Little Malvern in the church of St. Wolfgang. But there's a memorial here in Worcester Cathedral. Of course, he was very much associated with this place. Also, the final resting place of King John, one of the signatures to the Magna Carta in 1215. So, looking forward to having a look around. What a beautiful, beautiful building. So symmetrical. So, So a very notoriously bad king of England is King John, and there he lies in the middle of I don't know whatever this bit of the church is called, and there you go. That's his tomb. Signed the Magna Carta in 1215, and it says, King John's failures as a king were all too apparent as he faced death. His unreliability, brutality and miscalculations meant that his rebel barons had been driven to invite the French to invade. In the Middle Ages, sudden death was greatly feared, as it left no time to put matters right with God or arrange one's affairs. John's hastily composed will reveals his final concerns as king, a father and a human being who fears God's judgment. He asks his executors to send help to Jerusalem, to distribute money to his faithful servants and to the poor, and to make donations to religious houses. Those who pledged their loyalty kept their word. John's son Henry III became king, and the French withdrew. There you go. Here we are down in the crypt, where for some reason there's a case with just some, the bottom of somebody's legs in sandals, and I guess this must be something to do with a pilgrim. It says the objects here come from the 15th century grave discovered during excavations of May Cathedral floor in 1987. They represent the first discovery of a pilgrim burial in England, now marked by a floor memorial near the Queer Isle Steps. Is that what that is? The skeleton was still wearing the remains of a knee-length leather boots and woolen garments. He was a well-fed man in his 60s, and his arms crossed over his chest. So there you are. Interesting and interesting. This is what the cathedral would look like before the major renovations of the 13th and the 14th centuries, the 12 and 1300s. So still very impressive. So there seems to have been 3 cathedrals here in Worcester. The first one in 680, the second, housing a community of monks, was dedicated in 983 by St. Oswald, and the third begun by St. Wulfstan in 1084. And this is the building that we're now in, which later underwent major renovations in the 13th and 14th, 12th and 13th centuries, or 13th, 14th. So, a fascinating place, Worcester Cathedral. All sorts of interesting people memorialised here. And the resting place, as I said, of an English king, King John, who chose to be interned here. So quite interesting. So I hope you've enjoyed those few pictures. Stained glass window depicting some English kings, and obviously some magnificent stained glass here in this ancient building, beautifully symmetrical. Thank you for joining me this morning, and I'll see you on the next one.